So here's something that sounds impossible. Back in 2017, a law student in Helsinki built a little lending app, ran a token sale, and then watched it almost die because hardly anyone showed up to use it. Now fast forward to today, and that very same project just became the first platform in all of crypto to issue $1 trillion in loans. All time. 1 trillion. And the people building on it now aren't anonymous traders. They're names like Circle, Ripple, and VanEck. So how does a failed peer-to-peer app, named after the Finnish word for ghost, end up the biggest money market in decentralized finance? Let's walk through the whole story, from the dorm room all the way to Wall Street. So look, to really get Aave, you have to start with the person who built it, Stani Kulechov. He was born in 1991 in Soviet-era Estonia, then raised in Finland. And he wasn't some Wall Street finance kid. He was building websites in PHP at 12 years old, and he'd left high school by 15. Then comes the twist. He goes off to study law at the University of Helsinki, and while he's there, he stumbles onto Ethereum. Not to trade it, though. He was looking for a way to automate legal contracts. And he later summed up the light bulb moment perfectly. He said, quote, "Once you deploy the code, and it's immutable, you don't need the trust. You can even get rid of the lawyers." So in 2017, he ships it as ETHLend, a peer-to-peer lending app, and raises around $16 million selling a token called Lend. The idea was beautifully simple. You want to borrow, I want to lend, the code matches us directly, and we cut out the bank. One small problem. On a brand new network, almost nobody was there. Lenders and borrowers just couldn't find each other. The order book was a ghost town. So in 2018, Stani makes the call that quietly built modern DeFi. Instead of matching people one-to-one, what if everyone just pooled their money into one big shared reserve? He renames the whole thing Aave, which literally means ghost in Finnish. And by January 2020, Aave version 1 is live on Ethereum. The app that almost failed had just become the blueprint everyone else would copy. Okay, so how does Aave actually work? Because that pooled money model is what the whole industry copied. Picture one giant shared reservoir of money. People who want to earn deposit their crypto into it. People who want to borrow draw from that same pool and pay interest that flows right back to the depositors. No waiting for a match. The pool is simply always there. The moment you deposit, Aave hands you back something called an aToken, and that token quietly ticks upward right inside your wallet as your interest builds. You can watch your balance grow in real time. Now to borrow, you have to put up more than you take out. Think of it like a pawn shop. You leave collateral worth more than the loan. And the protocol constantly watches your health factor. Picture a fuel gauge for your loan. Stay above 1 and you're fine. Drop below 1 and you get liquidated, meaning your collateral gets sold to cover what you owe. But the feature that made Aave famous is the flash loan. To be fair, a project called Marble introduced the idea first in 2018, but Aave made it real at scale. A flash loan lets you borrow millions with zero collateral, as long as you pay it all back inside the very same transaction. If you can't, the whole thing just reverses, like it never happened. One bot once flash borrowed $200 million, routed it through several protocols in a single block, and walked away with a profit of $3.24. And here's something people get wrong all the time. Aave doesn't have its own blockchain, and it doesn't run its own consensus mechanism. It's just smart contracts living on top of Ethereum and other chains, borrowing their security. The community controls the rulebook, voting with the Aave token out in the open. So let's talk about where this pooled money idea actually ended up, because the scale is genuinely hard to wrap your head around. In February 2026, Aave became the first lending protocol in all of DeFi to cross $1 trillion in all-time loans. And just to be precise about what that means, That's every loan it has ever issued, added up since day one. Not money owed right now, the total it's ever lent out. $1 trillion of credit from a project that started life as a ghost town. Today, Aave is the #1 lending protocol in DeFi, full stop. Its main Ethereum market alone holds around $18 billion in deposits, and the protocol runs across roughly 20 different blockchains: Ethereum, Base, Arbitrum, Polygon, Avalanche, and more. It even launched its own stablecoin called GHO. And in 2025, the community switched on something they call Aavenomics. The DAO, that's the group of token holders who actually govern Aave, now runs a permanent $50 million a year buyback of the Aave token, funded straight from protocol revenue. And the treasury that community controls is worth somewhere around $180 million. And the biggest signal of how far it's come, in December 2025, the US SEC quietly closed its roughly 4-year investigation into Aave. No charges, no enforcement, nothing. A 4-year regulatory cloud, just lifted. It's not a scrappy experiment anymore. It's real financial infrastructure. Now, let's be real for a minute, because no honest breakdown skips the hard parts. Aave has been through some genuinely scary moments. But here's the key thing, and it's the part that builds trust. Almost every scare came from the assets people brought in, not from Aave's own core code. Take 2023. The founder of another big project had a $50 million loan on Aave, backed by a thinly traded token. And if that position got liquidated in a panic, Aave could have been left holding bad debt. So what happened? The community voted to freeze that one market. The founder paid back every dollar, and the protocol took zero loss, exactly as designed. Then, this past April, 2026, came a bigger test. A partner project called Kelp had a bridge get exploited, an outside flaw, not a bug in Aave itself, and around $200 million of bad debt suddenly landed on the protocol. Well, Aave froze the affected markets, worked through a recovery plan with its partners, and by mid-May had everything restored to normal. Start to finish, about 1 month. And here's the part I really respect. They built for this in advance. There's a system called Umbrella, basically automated insurance that covers bad debt without even waiting for a vote. They built the safety net before they ever needed it. It hasn't all been smooth, and that's okay. Their GHO stablecoin traded a little under $1 for a while after launch, before they tuned it back to its peg. Competitors like Morpho are real and pushing hard, and there was a public governance dispute earlier this year. But here's the thing, all of it plays out in the open, on-chain, where anyone can watch it happen. Try auditing your bank that way. So where is all of this heading? Because Aave's next chapter might be its most ambitious yet, and it's aimed squarely at the traditional finance world. In March 2026, Aave launched version 4 on Ethereum. The big idea is a unified liquidity layer. Instead of dozens of separate walled-off pools, there's now one shared hub that specialized markets, called spokes, can all plug into. So a new market taps Aave's entire depth on day one, with risk priced per asset automatically, the upgrade that lets Aave scale to institutional size. And that leads right into Aave Horizon, the part traditional finance folks should really be watching. Horizon lets institutions borrow stablecoins against tokenized real-world assets. Think tokenized versions of money market funds. And the partner list reads like a finance who's who. Circle, Ripple, Securitize, VanEck, WisdomTree, Chainlink, even Franklin Templeton. It's already the largest real-world asset lending market in DeFi, the bridge between old-world money and on-chain money, getting built right now. Now, on artificial intelligence, let me be straight with you, because plenty of channels would oversell this. Aave is not running some AI brain on its risk engine. That part is still rules and price oracles. What Stani is actually doing is investing in tools so AI agents can build on and borrow from Aave. The thinking is that as autonomous software agents start moving money, they'll need credit rails, and Aave wants to be those rails. And the long-term vision? Stani has said, quote, Aave will be the backbone of all credit. He's talked openly about a $30 to $50 trillion opportunity stretching out to the year 2050. Big words from the guy whose very first app couldn't even find two people to make a single trade. So let's pull this together. A high school dropout turned law student wanted to automate contracts, built a peer-to-peer lending app, and watched it stall out on an empty order book. He turned that failure into a shared pool of money, named it after a ghost, and it grew into the largest lending market in crypto, the rails that Circle, Ripple, and VanEck are now building on. And here's the real takeaway for you. Aave hides almost nothing. Every dollar of value in the protocol is public. Every loan sits on chain. Every governance vote happens out in the open. Its code has been formally, mathematically verified for 6 straight years. So here's your action item, and it costs you nothing. Before you ever put in a single cent, you can audit this yourself. Go read the Aave docs, go watch a live governance vote on their forum, go check the numbers from this video against the public dashboards, because that's the real lesson here. In this world, you don't have to trust. You can verify. And honestly, that might be the most valuable thing Aave ever built. So if this finally made Aave click for you, do me a favor and subscribe. Every single week, we go this deep on one project. No hype, no price predictions, just the real story. And drop a comment with the project you want me to break down next. I read every one. I'll see you in the next video.